Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday. I did some filming yesterday and decided that I did not like it. I was basically attempting to film a video in one day and had like a whole topical thing that I was trying to do because I have an event that I'm going to this weekend with my partner, which is going to take up a lot of my energy, and I really want to have the video done this week because next week I'm gonna be really tired and I'm a little worried that I won't want to work on editing. But yeah, scrapped the footage, so we're not using it. I did some other stuff yesterday too, like logistical things, and I'm gonna do some today, which I will be filming because we're gonna do a little like just following me through my workday, and then that'll become the video for today, I think. So it'll be like a little social media, a little bit of art stuff, and yeah. I was thinking though that because today is, because this is the 5th video, that maybe it's good to do a little bit of like a reintroduction. I'm not sure if I want to do every 5 or every 10. Since this is the 5th video and I feel like it's a little bit of like a milestone that I've been doing this and posting for like 2.5 months now, that it's probably a good idea to do that. So we're gonna do a little intro. Hi everyone, my name is Autumn. I am a 28-year-old digital artist and illustrator. I'm currently based on the East Coast, and I make some very fun, colorful, kind of silly art. Sometimes fan art, sometimes regular art, but all fun. And this is my at-home studio. Basically on this channel, I'm doing a lot of filming of my work stream. Like most of the videos, most of the last 4 videos has been sort of a mix of me talking about growing this community and this business, and then another part of it has been actually filming me working, whether that's in my sketchbook or on pieces. And then last time, I almost said last week, but it's because I was editing the video last week, or the week before. But in the last video, I also took a field trip to an art supply store around the area that I am in. And that was really fun, and I really enjoyed having some footage that wasn't the same as everything that I've been filming, because at this point, aside from the videos that I've posted, I had already been practicing filming starting this like over a month before. So I think we're definitely getting to the point where this is still fun, but it's definitely starting to feel like work now, which is good. We want it to feel like work because this is kind of work, and so it's nice that it's starting to feel comfortable and regular, but I kind of liked having a little bit of a change, and so maybe eventually we'll do more videos where I take little adventures, and I don't know, I'm open. I don't want to change things too much because I'm a little worried that the YouTube algorithm will be like, what's going on, because the algorithm is still figuring out who I am and what we do here together, and so there's like benefits to being mostly consistent with the content, so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, that's me. And then before I get started working, I do want to give a couple updates on what I've been up to in the week that we've been gone since the last video. So in the last video, I talked about getting back on social media, and since then I have done that. I do have a Blue Sky now. I'll post it here. I think I'll put it up here. And then in addition to Blue Sky, I now have a Kara as well, which I will put here. I try to leave room so I can put things around. It'll be what it is. So I'm on both of those platforms now. And then so far on Blue Sky, I've been really enjoying it. I mean, I also like Kara too, and I think it's nice to have a platform where I can reach a very broad audience, and then a platform also where I'm mostly just showcasing my work to other artists and connecting with them. There's like benefits to both. I think there are some redundancies of like I will find people who are on both, but I think having multiple avenues of people to find me are good. And also I just like connecting with people. So if you're here from one of those things and you're here because I connected with you online, I had a lot of fun doing that. So I hope you enjoy connecting with me here as well. Let's see, what else? I feel like last time I talked a lot about like slow growth, and I feel like my thoughts on that are still slow growth, best growth. I don't know if that's gonna become like a slogan of this channel, but it's just my vibe. It's just my vibe for what we're doing here together. I know what we can do. So I can show you, I worked on some stuff. Last time we talked about doing some like rework prints. So I've definitely been working on those. I thought I did more, but I think I just got sucked in. Like sometimes it feels like a piece goes really fast, or you're working on it a lot, and so it feels like you've done a lot, and you have, but then you only have one piece to show for it at the end. But I had this frog sticker design that I made a long time ago. The background's blue, but that's just because the current new piece is blue. So I'll show you on the screen and then I'll also put it up here for you. But I worked on this sticker, which is like really cute. It's a couple years old now. I think it's like at least 2 or 3 years old at this point. Here is what it looks like on the screen. Because I know I have to like tilt the screen this way or like this way for you so that it doesn't get the glare from the window. So here it is. The new version that I made, I'll show you here and then I'll put it up here for you. The new version is like this and it's a very cute little spring frog. I think it's nice. My idea for this, and I have a couple other like sticker designs for this, I'm gonna put this here for you while I talk about it. I have an idea of like, I think I want to do seasonal versions of these stickers. I have 5 of them. I think it was for a Skillshare class I took a long time ago that I designed these. I thought it would be fun to have like a spring, summer, autumn, fall, or spring, summer, autumn, winter version of these stickers. And at first I thought I was gonna do like all the versions of the frog and then move on to the next sticker, but I realized it's springtime now, so I should probably just do it now. Like the spring versions of all of them. So I think today we're gonna go through and work on the next sticker and start kind of figuring out what I wanna do with that. And then the next thing, the only other thing that I worked on, which there was like some drafting and ideating for other projects, but I'm not at a point yet where I'm ready to talk about that yet. It does relate to the painting stuff that I was talking about in the last video, but it is giving me some difficulty. The second thing I worked on was more like a trend for online. So on Instagram, I feel like is where I most predominantly see it. There's been these like AI starter pack things, which are heinous. I don't have any other word for them, but they're just like, I feel like other AI, like Gen AI trends, whether it's like the South Park stuff or the Ghibli stuff, all the like replicating art style things, they're gross in a way where like the replication of the art style in and of itself is offensive. But objectively, I can be like, yeah, they look like the style that they are intended to be, right? Whereas, oh, and then there's like the other generative AI stuff where it like will do things with too many fingers. Like I feel like I've become such a pro at like the fingers. You get this like feeling of like this seems suspect, and then you start zooming in on little things trying to figure out like, is this AI or is this actually a person? I feel like a lot of the time your instinct is just, that doesn't mean that we accuse everyone of AI. That's a no. I hate that, okay? Oh man, it just really gets my goat when people just like willy-nilly accuse artists of being AI artists. Like there's not that many AI artists, okay? They're just very loud. Anyway, but yeah, so there's these AI starter packs, which are basically like, they're supposed to be like action figure starter packs. So there's like a doll of the person and then items with it, but they're in this like 3D style and they just make my skin crawl. Like really, like I get like the heebie-jeebies when I look at these. It makes me so uncomfortable. There's a cute little bumblebee like flying around outside my window right now and I'm like very distracted by it. So it just like, it makes me so uncomfortable. It makes me like the most uncomfortable out of like all of the AI trends that I've paid attention to. Sorry, the bee is like so distracting. That's a bumblebee, right? It looks like a bumblebee. It's not quite fuzzy enough, maybe. I don't know. I think it's a bumblebee. There's been a lot of those, like people using Gen AI to make these starter packs. And it includes some people that I follow on Instagram, and it's been very disappointing, and it's always disappointing to me when I follow people who aren't artists on Instagram and then they're doing these trends because they're trends. That's another story. I saw on Blue Sky and on Kara that some people were kind of reclaiming the trend and sort of making their own interpretations of the starter packs. And at first it started for me as like this cathartic, like I'm just gonna do this and get out some frustration about the situation while I'm making this piece. And then it became like a very joyful, fun piece for me. So I ended up really having a super fun time, and it reminded me of like, you know, like you can't replace artists. I just think about that all the time when I see these things of like the joy. People would just be missing out so much on the joy that artists get out of making these things. Like it's just, I don't know. But I had a lot of fun making. I'll show you here, which yeah, I'm gonna have to like put it up on the screen, but it's like really cute. And also I know it's mirrored, so that's also why I'm gonna put it up here for you. But so I'll put it here. Super cute. I really like it. I had a lot of fun. I spent way too long working on it, and then I posted it. It's also sort of hard, like I've seen some people discussing of like, oh, does this perpetuate AI trends when artists just follow along and do their own version of it? And it's, I mean, I don't have the answer for everything, but I can see the point. I see the reasoning and the logic there. Anywho, that's what I was working on last week. And then this week, again, I'm going to an event, so I'm feeling very crunched in making the video. So today, we're just gonna get some fun angles while I work through some stuff. The gist of what I need to work on today is I need to go through my files because I got a notification that my files are almost full with all the video footage that I have. So I need to rearrange some stuff and like figure out, you know, how, like what I want to keep and where I want to keep things just to make some space. And then I'm going to do some, I was in the middle of it and then I realized I could film it, so I'm gonna film it. I was working on some social media engagement, which I'm having a lot of fun with, and I'm trying to keep it within working hours for the most part. I think in terms of like posting things that aren't like just a text post that I'm just talking. If I'm just talking to people, that can be outside business hours for them, like to a certain extent. But I'm trying to keep it where if I am engaging in social media in the context of this is sort of for work, I would like to keep, especially posting art and things, to business hours, just for the sake of like work, home, like home life separation, you know? So I'm gonna work on that. I am very excited and I am enjoying doing it. I think it's just like, it's sort of like being on a little bit of a social media diet, like having a diet plan for social media so that it doesn't become like overwhelming and I don't find myself looking at it all the time, every second of the day. So on the weekends, I may post something here or there just because there are a lot more people online, but you know, it's like, I don't want it to become the thing I do all the time because that's not the thing I do all the time. Anyway, I'm gonna start working again. My name is Autumn and welcome to my studio. Or if you've been here before, welcome back. Let's get to work. It is Wednesday afternoon, which I know I usually don't film on Wednesday, but I'm filming on Wednesday because I've just sort of accepted at this point that I think I'm gonna be editing a lot next week. Maybe, we'll see. I think I'm definitely planning to edit like tomorrow and Friday, so we'll see if I actually finish. I hope so, that'd be great, because then I could work on art next week and just do art things. But we're here. I didn't feel like I had enough footage from yesterday, and also I just sort of like stopped filming at some point. So instead of just one afternoon, like spend the afternoon with me, it is now 2 spend the afternoons with me, which is fine. I'm here, I have my pineapple frog earrings, I have my matcha that's not strong enough. We're just gonna make some stuff. What I was looking to work on this afternoon for a couple of hours is some character sheets for my little party tees, which I drew before. I want to flesh out these guys. And so I just want to like revisit their designs and see if there are any changes that I want to make to them before I doodle with them more. So I was wanting to work on something like that and then just hang out. That's all. I'm just hanging out today. Very low pressure. I did a lot of like social media engagement yesterday, so I'm feeling pretty good and I'm planning to do more. Actually, something I did earlier was this little tab thing is me writing down when I posted certain art between Blue Sky and Kara, because I'm trying to not lose track of when I posted things, and then also keeping an eye on when I posted things to see like when it would make sense for me to post them again if I need like filler content, you know, if I'm not making enough art to post things. It's just like, it's good to sort of cycle between like old and new, you know, so more people can see it as you get more followers. Yeah, that's all really. I don't really have that much more to say. I kind of want to just work. Maybe if I deviate from what I decide or like I say I'm gonna do, then I'll talk more, but for now oh, hold on. Speaking of deviating, I finished that leaf thing. That was something that I did off camera, and I probably should have been filming it, but I didn't because I didn't feel like it. I'll put it on the screen too, you know the deal. Also, I know I said these were stickers and that I wanted to make new versions of them. That doesn't mean that I'm making them stickers. Like, maybe eventually I will, but for now they're mostly just prints. But here is my little spring leaf, who is just a baby. And then I'll put it not mirrored over here so you can see it. I think it's cute, it's fun. It was kind of nice to have it done in a day. The frog took me a lot longer because I couldn't figure out like a way to draw the face of the frog witch that I liked. And then it took me a while to land on that, but with the leaf, it was a bit easier for me to do. And then I started also sketching. Here, I can show you too. I started working on a study for Howl's Moving Castle, like a screen cap. That was also really popular for people to draw. And I mostly just have the sketch now. I don't know if that's gonna be like the final design or what, but it's just sort of nice to have like a no thoughts exercise where it's already on the page for you, so you don't really need to do anything with it, you know? Anyway, I am going to get to work and then I will talk to you later. yeah, I think I'm done. I feel like this video is mostly just gonna be like a hang out with me and vibe kind of video, and you know, that's okay. That's fine. That's how we're existing here this week. But I hope you enjoyed the content that I have accumulated in our hang. I don't know why I said it like that. Anyway, yeah, basically, I'm done. I worked on that character sheet. It was just hard because my iPad kept dying and I kept getting tired of like closing it out, pausing filming, waiting for it to charge, working on some other stuff, coming back, working on it again, iPad dying. I think it's just, I don't know if it's like the amount of layers that I work in on my iPad or if I need to get a new iPad soon, which would suck a lot. But my iPad is at this point like 6 years old, so I could be right in maybe thinking that it might be time to start thinking about the possibility of acquiring a new iPad soon. Hopefully not too soon, but I think it might be getting there. But anyway, I finished the initial part of that character spread that I was working on. I will put it here for you. And I'm currently working on writing descriptions of the characters and just sort of fleshing out what my thoughts are on what they're like, how they exist, and giving them, like, not making them too perfect. You know what I mean? Because I feel like with cute characters, it's pretty easy to be like, oh yeah, they're like this and this and that, and I tend to come at it from like a viewpoint of like, oh, they're into, this character's into art, and this one really likes science and that kind of stuff. And then I have to remember like, okay, this one is a very nervous pet owner. Fun things that like that make drawing them really nice and just interesting. So they're not just like flat, boring characters. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on. I think I'm gonna end up working on that into next week. Tomorrow and Friday, I need to edit and get the video ready to go. So yeah, I guess I need to close this out for this week so that I can start editing. If you liked this video and you would like to see more of this kind of content, please remember to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you would like, but please be aware that that will maybe give you notifications from everywhere else. So up to you. But my name is Autumn. Thank you for hanging out with me in my studio, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye!